Welcome everyone to today's conversation on All About Data. I have a slightly different format today and I'm really excited to share this with you. As we begin today's conversation, I acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land I'm on. I'm speaking from the land of Bidigal people and I pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. So for today, our conversation will focus on shared views and experiences as we discuss customers across different industries who are at different stages within their IT transformation journeys. And for this conversation, my guests are two experts across two organizations, Josh Atwell from Splunk and Raj Grewal from NetApp. Welcome, Josh and Raj. And an interesting fact about today's guest is that Josh is currently at Splunk, having previously worked at NetApp, and Raj is currently at NetApp, having previously worked with Splunk. Welcome, gentlemen. As an introduction, I know I've mentioned your names, but hey, Raj, would you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at NetApp?
Thank you, Barsha. My name is Raj Grewal. I'm a principal architect here at NetApp, and I lead a team in all areas of artificial intelligence, big data, based here in Chicago, Illinois.
Perfect. Thank you, Raj. And Josh, would you also introduce yourself to us in the audience, please?
Sure. My name is Josh Atwell. I'm a senior technology advocate over at Splunk, living here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And yeah, previous NetApp. I was at NetApp for a number of years. Now I'm over at Splunk. My team is focused on identifying emerging trends, how to inform and instruct people on how to perceive those trends, and find success in tackling those challenges.
Perfect. Thanks, Josh. I'm not going to let you go just yet with your introduction. I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit about Splunk as well. Like, what is Splunk known for? With my previous roles in cybersecurity, I know Splunk provides, SIEM solution, security information and event management. But what should it be known for, or what else should it be known for?
Yeah, that's like the $1,000, $1 million question. Lots of people know Splunk as a logging company. A lot of people know us as a security company, but what we are is an extensible data platform that allows us to unify security, full stack observability, and just tons of custom applications and use cases so that organizations can unlock the potential of their data, remove those barriers so they can get into action. Really driving hard to help organizations unlock their innovation and succeed in digital transformation, and most importantly, my favorite, understand what's going on in their environments.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Thank you. And I asked that because even within NetApp as well, for NetApp, and Raj would probably agree to this, is we're known as traditional storage vendor as well. But there's so much more in terms of data that we do, and so it's always great to ask what are we known for, but then what else are we actually doing that people might not be aware of. So starting with our conversation and first point of discussion, and there's a lot of focus on different aspects of data, no doubt, and Splunk and NetApp are companies that help simplify a lot of processes and procedures when it comes to data. So I'm very keen to get this conversation started on shared views between Josh, yourself, and Raj around what sort of customers do you talk to, verticals, enterprises, and what conversations are you coming across? Raj, perhaps you can start with this.
Yeah. So again, working at NetApp, it's really great because we get to help customers along their data journey. And what does that really mean, right? Most of us, think about data as being structured or well organized and maybe easy to do analysis with traditional business tools, like something collected and arranged in a database. But where I help our customers is in the area of unstructured data, right? So think about like social media posts like Twitter or Facebook. They can have really huge business value, but very difficult to do analysis on. And then we start expanding that lens. Now you start throwing in images, audio, video, documents, emails, instant messages. And unstructured data is really rich with potential, but it's really difficult to handle. And importantly, it makes up over 80% of the world's data. And any organization that's really serious about getting insights from their data must find ways to harness it. And that's where Splunk and NetApp together, we provide a great solution to allow customers to get insights from their data.
Yeah, thanks, Raj. That kind of builds a really clear picture. We're talking, you're giving us some really good use cases that everybody can understand, right? Josh, is that something that you come across as well? Is it different?
I think there's a lot of parallels with the conversations that I have also. One of the things with Splunk is we absorb digital exhaust from the environments, whether you're in the public cloud, whether you're on premises, or how most of us are bridging somewhere in between. You know, all of those components are releasing information that professionals need to tap into to be able to get insights, to be able to respond, and be able to take care of their environments and deliver for their customers. And some of that's structured, some of it's not. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to get developers around the world to standardize on exactly how they're going to log everything, whether it's on hardware or software. And so the power that we provide with Splunk is the capacity to take really well structured data as well as unstructured data and be able to help you correlate those together to get insights.
Yeah, well, that's it's really falling into place, right? With NetApp, where we're helping get the data, look at it, probably even put it in an AI ML sort of thing. Whereas Splunk is coming in to look at the data and bring information out of it. How do you make actionable information out of all of that data? So this is really great. And it's interesting, Josh, you already touched on cloud, and my second question was going to be, we know our customers, all customers that we talk to, Splunk, NetApp, they're most of them are in a certain IT transformation journey, and a lot of that involves cloud. Whether they start in cloud, whether they're going to cloud, whether they've got partly cloud, with that, what are the majority of conversations that are happening in your interaction when it comes to, cloud?
Sure. Well, as much as I hate doing it, the last 2 years has really disrupted not only the way businesses operate, but the way they thought they were going to handle their digital transformations, the way they were going to handle their cloud migrations and that journey. But in the research that I've done recently while at Splunk, we've also identified that people are also kind of accepting that hybrid cloud's going to be a long-term scenario where that journey to get a lot of those applications and the things that help run their business, it's going to take a while for them to get there. So understanding how to operate with one foot in the data center and their heads in the clouds, and I mean that, nicely, is to be able to, how do you look at those and find standardization, find mechanisms so you can simplify your operations, centralize your visibility, and understand that as applications move there, your operating model can also shift, and it can do that hopefully as seamlessly as possible.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. And with you, Raj, is that the sort of conversation you're coming across as well, the hybrid cloud?
Yeah, but I think regardless whether you're talking about in the cloud or in a private cloud, in a hosted facility, or inside on-premise in a data center, most organizations want three things, right? From their IT infrastructure, they want performance at scale, they want faster recovery from failure, and overall, they want a lower TCO of the environment. And if you actually take it even one step further, you have two sets of folks. You have application owners, you have IT infrastructure, right? And the app owners, they just want to make sure, hey, from a data point of view, is my data in the right location at the right time and on the right storage tier? And it's not like SSDs or, spinning disk. It's more of there's data they need now, and there's data they need 3 months from now when they're being audited, for example. And then you have IT, what they want is, I need a data platform that can manage unstructured data at scale, make sure it's secure, durable, I can integrate with multiple workflows, and also reduce costs at the same time.
Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that you brought it back to, the key drivers for a business. What is it that they're trying to achieve? I love it. So why are customers using NetApp and Splunk?
Yeah, that one's pretty straightforward. one, there's been great partnership between NetApp and Splunk for a long time, but Splunk has worked to incorporate capabilities that allow our self-managed on-prem customers to operate very similarly as they do in the cloud, using protocols that are important to them, that they use in the cloud. For instance, S3, for a storage standpoint, because as Raj pointed out correctly, cost is a factor. Retention policies are important, and not everything needs to be on high-speed SSD. And so being able to leverage S3 protocols that are identical to what they use in their cloud services has become really important for them in their self-managed on-prem environments as well.
Yeah. Raj, would you like to add to that?
Yeah. So again, when folks are architecting a Splunk environment, again, if you go back from those two stakeholders, the Splunk admin and the data center team, the ability to have some sort of data tiering engine to put data on the right media or the right data center and or protection scheme, make sure that data is durable, right? NetApp, we have several products where you can get 15 nines of durability. People also want something that's scalable, right? Something that can provide support for over 200 billion objects. But then also from the IT point of view, NetApp, we have tons of products and services that are flexible and simple to deploy, right? I can mix and match maybe software versus hardware appliances. Hybrid cloud enabled, right? Be able to store data into public clouds such as AWS, Microsoft Azure, or GCP. And then again, also that flexible data policy, data protection, right? Make sure that data can be protected and replicated. And also we have to look at it from a security point of view, right? I want maybe at rest or in-flight data verification, because I think one thing, it's the hidden S, right? Everyone knows they have to talk about security, but no one ever wants to really talk about it. And together, NetApp and Splunk, we cover all those bases.
Yeah, awesome. I've got one last question for customers considering Splunk self-managed. What should they think about? What should their key considerations be?
Well, I'm always going to be an advocate at being mindful about what your requirements are, because the cloud is providing some tremendous value from an operations standpoint and the ability for managed, but recognizing that on-prem is still an absolute requirement for a lot of our customers. And I think Raj has actually hit on a lot of those. You need to make sure that you're understanding what your data requirements are, what data you're trying to bring in, the type of that data that is, your retention policies and how frequently you need to access it, so that you understand what reliability metrics you need. And then also understanding what volume of data that you're needing to maintain, in those availability zones or in those speed and access zones. So I think those are some key considerations.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Josh and Raj, for this very insightful conversation. I've loved it. I'm sure our audience will love it too. And to our audience, we'll share a solution brief on Splunk Smart Store powered by NetApp. And also, I'll leave the audience with a question. What does self-managed mean to you? And how are you running your critical environment? If you have any questions, please reach out to any of us in the panel today, and we look forward to connecting with you.